Well, a news just coming in, RBI, remember the board meeting was to be held on November 19th. It was something that Congress leader P. Chidambaram was calling it a day of reckoning. Now the RBI crisis seems to be heading for a resolution. Urjit Patel is unlikely to resign as per sources. To get us more on this news just coming in, I have my colleague Srinivasan Jain joining us. Srinivasan, what are the latest details? What are you hearing? Okay, we'll just try and reconnect that line, but this is just news coming in. There have been differences between the RBI governor, Urjit Patel, as well as Prime Minister. Remember, there was news this week that Prime Minister Modi met with RBI Governor Urjit Patel to iron out differences. But will the crisis end soon? Now, there is a crucial meeting that is lined up for November 19th, when the tensions between the RBI and the government have really reached its peak, and most of the attention was over autonomy, over the independence of that Reserve Bank of India. But is this a sign that ahead of that crucial board meeting of the RBI, that crisis is now looking to end? Sources are now telling NDTV that Section 7, which is unlikely to be invoked. I have Srinivasan Jain back on the line. Srinivasan, what can you tell us about this crisis, which seems likely to end soon?
Well, I spoke to somebody who's conversant with the discussions going on within the RBI board, and the indication I got from this source was that there appears to be a move to try to diffuse this crisis between the RBI and the government. The language that was used by the source was that Urjit Patel is not going anywhere, and Section 7, which is, of course, the section that is used or could be used by the government to exercise control over the RBI, is not going to be invoked either. The sense that one got from talking to this individual is that there has been an attempt to try to diffuse the main points of contention between the government and the RBI, the most volatile of which was the reports of the government demanding an unusually high share of the RBI's reserves. This source tells me was never the case to begin with. It was more just a discussion on what is called the capital framework, the economic capital framework of the RBI, which determines what portion of the RBI's dividend is shared. So for that, I was told that essentially the move could be to appoint a committee that will fine-tune exactly which model is used, the model proposed by the government or the model proposed by the RBI, to figure that part out. The other bone of contention was to relax restrictions, lending restrictions on the small-scale sector, MSMEs as they're called, medium and small-scale industries. That too apparently appears to be moving towards a resolution with the RBI agreeing, it appears, to relax some of these restrictions. So broadly, on the two or three main points of contention, there appears to be in this period of time before this big board meeting on Monday, which everyone was keenly watching, to try and scale down the tensions between both sides. Of course, we'll have to finally wait and see how it all pans out. But at the moment, as this source told me, the idea is to ensure that that board meeting is nothing more than a damp squib.